Welcome in, everybody, to Meet the Polymaker. I am your host, Joel. And guess what? We have some improvements to the show. First off, I talked about this on the Tuesday community stream. If you weren't there, there's always been an issue with our giveaways. As you see at the bottom, I Am Awesome enters you into a giveaway. It's been restricted to just Twitch because there were some issues with YouTube not working. I figured it out. So it is fixed now. So those over in YouTube world, type in I Am Awesome in chat, and Twitch, it still works for you guys too. But we are now able to do the giveaways both ways. As you may have seen a little bit differently for this show, it was scheduled. So you might have seen a scheduled post on the live column under our YouTube channel. That was the trick. I had to do a scheduled show, so StreamYard's seen it, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, details are details. But it works now. So everybody on YouTube, you now have a chance to enter in for the giveaway of a spool of filament. So now that I know how that works, it will now work going forward on any of the streams where I do a giveaway. It'll be both if we're going live on YouTube and Twitch. At events, sometimes we're only live Twitch just because of limitations. But anyway, new and improved. Got a new improved green screen setup, so there's less flashy seat. Yeah, I mean, you've seen a little bit on the hair there, but we made some changes. We've updated things. I'm happy about it. Type in I Am Awesome in chat wherever you are in the world, whatever media you are watching, YouTube or Twitch, type it in, get yourself entered. I'll give you another chance at the end for those who are late to the party to enter in there. But yeah, awesome stuff. Finally getting some optimization done here. So with that all said, we like to talk 3D printing news. We like to share community prints, and only we like to meet new makers every single episode. Sometimes they're not new makers. Sometimes they've been longer than I have, but they're cool nonetheless. And today, as I like to say, is no exception. She is pretty awesome in what she does. So we'll get to know the maker here soon. Until then, we're gonna take care of hot end headlines. First up, you may have seen the announcements on the socials and the Discord, etc. We have a new improved formula of Panchroma Silk PLA. This is still PLA. It is still the same stuff that you used to love. We've just improved it. We've improved for a stronger silk effect, maintain that silk effect between speed ranges, high speed printing up to 250 millimeters per second, better layer adhesion. So overall, just a better silk filament for the masses. Some colors aren't quite available yet. They will be if you see them out of stock. We're just waiting for production to be finished and then to arrive over in the US and Canada and Europe and worldwide, etc. But there are more colors coming, and maybe some new colors. Can't talk about that, but if you're part of the Awesome Squad on Discord, you might know a thing or two. So definitely check that out. There was a question on socials. How do you know that you bought it? There's now a section that you can actually select old formula and new formula, because there's still some old stock left. I think it might be out now. If you ordered before that update to the website, likely you got the new formula, but you can reach out to support if you're really wanting to know for sure. Next up, we have the Snapmaker U1, which we've talked about. And again, we don't encourage people to do Kickstarters, etc. It's up to you to do your research on that. But more wanted to point out the fact that they have released when their Kickstarter starts, which is late August, is due to start late August, and the price point. $679, of course, is what everybody's been talking about. Super cheap for a four head tool changer, 270 cubed. But $679, you gotta watch it. That's not the guaranteed price. That is if you do a $30 deposit before the Kickstarter starts, and then you get one of the early bird slots on the Kickstarter. So you gotta be quick. You gotta make sure you see when it goes live. Make sure that you select, the super early bird special. And then you're going to see a $7.99 price, because you have your $30 deposit and they do a refund of $100. So it's, in the end, it will be $679, but don't be surprised if you do order it. It's not $679 right up front, and just make sure you have the deposit and the early bird. They did say they're going to be thousands of them available. If that's true or not, how many is the thousands? Is that 1,001 or is it more? Not really sure, but this could be a very awesome entry into getting tool changers into being the affordable range of printers, so all of us can enjoy what tool changers can do. Fast multicolor, less waste multicolor, and just a multi-material overall. So really cool stuff coming. Next up, we have another product. It's the week of new products. The BQ, or the Big Tree Tech Panda Status. Now they have the Panda series for all the Bamboo Lab printers, and there's quite a few of the accessories. This one's a new one for those that want to be bougie and don't have the money for an H2D. You can get the little status indicator light that is under the bed, stock on the H2D. This gives you print indication or print status indicators. You can do rhythm lighting if you really want to have a rave in your 3D printing room. It's eventually gonna have a mobile app where you can control the RGBs, change the colors, make it go to music, etc. But it is going to be compatible with A1 A1 series, X1 series, and P1 series. So if you just like to have something a little extra touch of bouginess to it, there you go, and it is available now. Next up, we have 3D printed micro turbines. We have talked 3D printing in engines, rocket engines, jet engines, etc. This is a jet engine, but it is a small jet engine for a small drone. This is going to power Argiv's 3D printed A300. Well, it's called the Sky Shark is what the drone's called. A300 is going to be the turbine that is 3D printed by Argiv. It's going to be built from nickel super alloy to handle higher temperatures and complex geometries. The digital engine design, of course, the big thing with 3D printing is customizable. You can customize it for thrust, efficiency, size, depending on your payload, depending on how big the drone is itself. But overall, it's going to make improved efficiency, longer range, more payload, and overall better reliability. So a lot of cool things in the small factor of Aero. And last up, we have the iconic Merlion, I think I'm pronouncing that right, statue. It's actually out of Singapore, and they have taken this statue, which is iconic for the area, and have turned it into a toy, which doesn't sound like much. Okay, well, they took a statue, now they print it as a toy, but it is a 3D printed toy. It's 18 centimeter tall figure, and then they are made from around 30 recycled plastic bottles donated by a local beverage company. So right now, only 60 pieces were produced for a blind box collection. So if you are a collector, maybe something to go try to get a hold of. There are going to be 10 unique color variations. And the base of each one has a hidden compartment with little magnetic Chinese charms of characters such as wealth and longevity. The project is boosting the value of the recycled plastic from under $1 to $50 per kilogram based on the price of what they can sell the toy for. So a really cool way to see recycled plastic be used for other means, and limited edition. Who doesn't like limited edition? Collect, collect, collect. But that is it for the news today, and we're going to head over to Spool to Spotlight. Just long enough to let me take a drink of water. So these are going to be prints that are shared on our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. These are from the Show Off Prints channel. And this one is going to be printed from CGS Creations. It is the Brain, I spelled that wrong, Brain Bomb Art. That's not supposed to be a D. By Mad Power. It is available on MakerWorld if you want to print it yourself. And this is printed not in Polymaker Filament. And I wanted to point that out for the whole fact of you can share any prints that you do and Show Off Prints. It does not have to be Polymaker. Ideally it is, but it doesn't have to be. And this just shows there are other beautiful filaments out there. This is an awesome color. So just a great print from CGS Creations, and appreciate you sharing. Next up, we have a print by K2 Kevin, and this, I don't think it's officially released yet. This is the 2-tier poop conveyor, and I called it Remix. It's based off another design, but he has added the taller setup for the H2D, and also added clamps to be able to mount it onto a desk or table or shelf. So I think he might make it available on MakerWorld eventually. Just go follow K2 Kevin's profile, watch it, and it'll be there. I may or may not be sharing this in the Hangout tonight. I got mine pretty much finished. I just got to fine tune some stuff, but it's put together in my workshop, and it's even longer than what you see here for K2 Kevin's setup. So stay tuned for that. Next up, we have Joe, Deep Dive Design, sharing his print of the Dragon action figure. This is going to be a design by Sousaphone, and if that name sounds familiar, he's the same creator of the Dummy 13, which was gained huge popularity. We printed a tall one for our booth for Polymaker. Other people have printed 1,000%. 1,300% ones, so really cool. He's now used that same kind of ball socket joints to snap out everything together in just a really awesome print. And we also have another Dragon action figure by Sousaphone, and again, this model is going to be available on MakerWorld. I think MakerWorld across different ones, but it is $7 for the model if you want to print it yourself. This is Rev Hazlitt's version of it, And this one I wanted to show because without the lights on, you see he printed it in our luminous PLA, and they turned out amazing. The way that our luminous pops in dark. If you haven't printed with it, highly recommend it. It is pretty abrasive, so watch how you run it. You can run it through an AMS. It just, yeah, got a lot of retraction. I've personally noticed it jams up, so just be careful or just feed it directly. But these prints all came out amazing, and the glow again is phenomenal. Last but not least, we have Corgio that has not only printed but also designed the Orthanc tower from Lord of the Rings. I don't know how it's properly pronounced. This is a pretty awesome tower, and it's also printed with no supports. So this is, I think, called the thick edition or the thick boy edition. So you can print it yourself without any supports. It is available. I'm going to pull that up because I did not add the logo, so my apologies there. We're doing this live. I thought it was an awesome print, so I want to make sure you know where to get it from. That's, oh yeah, there we go. That's why I don't have the icon. It's available on makeronline.com, which is Anycubic's version or the file repository by Anycubic. So Maker Online, the Orthanc Tower Thick Edition, no supports, available to download from Corgio. So thanks for sharing the model, and thanks for sharing your print. It looks great. And thanks to everybody else who shared prints throughout the week, whether we showed you or not. And share your own. Continue to share, and you might be shown on the show next time. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and after that, we're going to meet our maker, so stay tuned. I clicked commercial, and it's not going.
Has this ever happened to you? Have you just been minding your own business and you drop your PLA print?
There's gotta be a better way.
Well, now there is. With our Polylite PLA Pro, you won't have to worry about dropping your PLA prints ever again. Just look how these tests held up to our drop test, the same one that we did with PLA. If you need even more impact resistance, make sure you check out our Polymax PLA. This hammer is no match for Polymax PLA.
This is Polymax PLA, the toughest PLA in the world, and today we're gonna put that to the test. I printed this very mechanical model, and we're gonna drop it from the 12th floor. You heard me well, the 12th floor. Let's go! Ready for the first drop in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that's crazy! Not even a scratch! Let's go and check it closer. Not even a single scratch. I dropped it again from the 12th floor, and still not a single scratch. Buy your Polymax PLA right now!
Performance may vary depending on usage, individual factors, and external condition. Individual result may vary, not a guarantee of specific outcome. Consult your professional before use. See website for details and limitations. Use responsibly.
Are you into cosplay and prop making? Are you tired of having to break out those power tools to sand those lines away? And don't forget about all that hand sanding. Cramps. Ouch. Introducing Polymaker's Cos PLA, available in 2 different versions, version A and version B. Both versions are still easier to sand than standard PLA. Find out more at us.polymaker.com.
Aliens have come to take over our planet. What will we do? With modern technology and superior materials, we may have a chance. The only good bug is a dead bug. Polymaker. Add to your game.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. We're getting ready to meet our next maker, and I'm hoping that all my changes I've made to optimization will make it so you can actually watch this one, unlike the last last week's episode where we had some hiccups. So without further ado, if you're into cosplay or just enjoy seeing different cosplays, you've likely ran across this maker multiple times. And if not, are you even on the internet? So without further ado, let's welcome in Willow Creative. How's it going?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a little last minute, but I'm happy to jump in.
That's usually how I roll though. That's my calling card, we'll say. So how's it going today? Or tonight?
I'm doing great.
Say?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm always working on something, so I got my desk full of like random hardware and stuff that I'm working on.
So real quick, for those that don't recognize the name, which if they're on Instagram or X, I don't know how, but who are you and what do you do?
I'm Willow Creative. I'm a cosplayer. I use a lot of 3D printing in my work as well. I'm based in Florida. I am full-time, so professional, where I make my money with a little web store with 3D prints, 3D models that I design myself, and I work for like video game companies and people that order costumes and props through me sometimes. And I just do like a variety of all like kind of cool stuff. Mostly games, video games, so props and costumes for video games, and I try to make cool stuff for them.
Yeah, I think you succeeded on many accounts. So now, being that you said that this is your full-time gig, if we go back some, do you have background into any type of that carried over into this, or was this kind of just a hobby turned into passion?
Yeah, so I went to college for game design, and this was about 8 years ago or something. Well, probably a lot of people have seen that the game industry is kind of imploding right now. And I was doing like cosplay on the side, but it was like really low key, more like a hobby, like ran fairs and cardboard stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then I decided to like kind of combine my game design college with cosplay, and I ended up doing a I'm not sure how you call it, but it's like a final graduation project thing, like your final thesis.
Yeah.
And I basically worked for a video game company to bring one of their characters to life as a cosplay, and then integrated that with like 3D modeling and 3D printing, and that's how I put those things back together. And then I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna continue doing my work in this area and work for game studios and make game props to become a professional in that sense.
That's pretty awesome. So now, when you started doing it, was 3D printing part of it from the very beginning, or was that something that you jumped into to just start enhancing?
No. So like I've been doing cosplay for about 15 years now. And back then 3D printing was not really a big thing yet. So I did everything with like cardboard. I was very creative already, so I did like digital art and hand-drawn art and like plushies and all that kind of handcrafted stuff. And so I went to game college because I liked games and I liked drawing stuff. And then the cosplay thing was on the side, and then I bought my first 3D printer in college, where I could use my game design stuff to make real 3D models and make it real, basically. And that's how I started 3D printing accessories for my costumes. And that's how it like
just progressed.
Kind of became a very big problem in my life.
Yeah, a good problem though, right?
Yeah. No, it definitely like 3D printing like exploded like the amount of work that I could do by myself, because like it's like an extra set of hands that can just make your work on the side while you're designing. And that's what's really helps with 3D printers, that like all these machines take so much work off my hands that I would have to carve and sculpt and cut by myself otherwise. And as such, I could really turn that handcraft into like a full-time job, because I finally had enough hands to make everything within the time.
And too, with the technology, especially the technology that have advanced in 3D printing alone, is probably added to what you could do to the projects themselves too, right? Because I mean, you were
Yeah,
limited
exactly.
with cardboard
Like
and foam. You're
the
limited.
speed of the printers, the materials available, and all the extra knowledge that is being shared about 3D printing. Like it just became faster and bigger and better. Like over the last 10 years, it's really grown in that sense.
So now, when you do, you said of course you work with video game companies and studios to do props and do the costumes. And I've never like dove into this. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. Do you ever pull the actual asset from the game? Like they give you the file, or do
Yes.
you always design?
Yeah. Sometimes they give me the file, like the
Okay.
original file. Usually I work with a marketing agency from the video game studio itself, and like that's those jumps between the marketing agency and the video game studio doesn't always work out. So
Old
I
telephone
started
game,
like
yeah.
yeah. So you're like, hey, you're trying to communicate with the marketing agency. I need these assets, and it doesn't always
Like, what
land.
does that
So
mean? I don't know.
I don't get the right things, and definitely not on the right times because like those, especially the marketing, like the digital content creator deadlines, they're way too short to get any of that
Oh yeah.
this communication done. So usually I take it from the video game itself. And for my own personal costumes, for my own personal projects, I also take references from the video game itself. So and because of that, my game design background, like from going to college, I know that precise pipeline of how game models are designed and how you.
Oh.
And then I did my own thesis on 3D printing models, and they can be quite different. But I know that relation pretty well, so I know exactly how to use like a game model as a reference for a 3D printing model, even though I will make the 3D printing model from scratch, basically.
So now, when you're doing your own model, or even just touching up the model they give you, do you have a go-to software? Has that changed over the years, or have you just went to one?
I still use the software that I use in my game college. Maybe I can share my screen right now. I can just show it. So, oh yeah, can you share it on the stream as well? The screen share.
Let's see. Let me see here. I can. Yep. Let me.
It should appear as an extra screen.
Here. Oh, I forgot I put my keyboard on the floor because I may or may not have spilled water on it. There we go.
But yeah, I usually use Autodesk Maya, which is what I learned in college, and then also ZBrush, which is a sculpting software that I also learned in college. It's a little pricey, but it's like the industry standard, and there's like free alternatives, but I never bothered to learn them. So like Blender and Nomad Sculpt,
There you go.
I think, are very popular applications. And those I don't use, but these are like the industry standards that I learned in college. So
Okay.
like for example, this is from the video game itself.
Actually, I'll go full screen so they can see
If you guys can see that, yeah, this is from the video game itself. And I basically, like, as you can see there, it's not very high definition. And what I will do is I'll make a reference 3D model and add all these HD details basically inside. And then this is a real life 3D scan of myself.
Perfect.
With the exact same sizes that I have. You actually see my own mannequin in the background here, which is the exact same 3D model, but then 3D printed in full scale. So let me see if you can see it. So this is the same 3D model, full scale as myself, that I use as a mannequin. And then I also have it digitally, which I can use to scale all these props and costumes and armor and everything I want.
Now, is there any time
while also having a 3D printed replica of myself to build it on, which is really cool. So as you can see here, I used like the scale of myself to make sure that the prop is about real life scale. And then so that's what I do to translate that to real life. Let me see.
Now, when you printed that or got that mannequin made, how many times have you woken up at night walking around your house and scared yourself?
Yeah, I know. I usually take the head off because it scares the crap out of me every time I walk in the living room. It's like the mannequin is standing there, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should like put something else there. So I take the head off.
So with this software, do you ever, of course, you got yours in there to fit yourself. Now, when you do, say, commission work or for it to fit somebody else, do you typically ask for a 3D scan or get a 3D scan
Yes.
of the person so you can fit it?
Yes, so like Polycam and like a couple other apps that are very popular, they'll allow people to make a couple scans for free as a trial use, and I'll tell them to like, hey, can you give me a 3D scan of yourself? Make sure you get like a really tight clothing or something on, and I can use that as a reference to skill stuff. But I can also change the mannequin, like it's a pretty basic 3D model. I can also change the mannequin based on the circumference of like your waist and stuff like that, and I can scale it a little bit like that. It's not as accurate, but it's usually close enough for most armor pieces to fit.
Man, that's
So that
plus
helps
with
a lot
plastic is
too.
you kind of can, warm it up, bend it a little bit, make it fit, to an extent.
That too is also not really that complex. Like there's usually a little bit of a margin that isn't really a big deal.
No. So now with 3D printing,
So
where
like
it's at,
this is my own mannequin, but I used different measurements for someone else to scale to, so it's a little differently shaped than myself, and that's how I like
it's
scale
different
myself
sections.
basically. Yeah, you got all these pieces that I changed to make it fit a little bit.
So now is that just eyeballing into what fits, or does that app tell you that there's
Kinda,
there's
yeah.
obstacles?
I
Or...
am very much an eyeball person.
Okay.
So like everything I do is kind of eyeballed, and I am always a measure once, cut twice kind of person.
There
So
you go.
it's a pretty good fit, as you can see.
And you've done enough now. You're pretty much, like you said, you eyeball
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I
It's
usually
become
know a
kind of
little bit.
natural.
Yeah, I got plenty of experience to tell, like, hey, is this going to be a problem? Which are like the key fitting points, and which points do I need to pay attention to make sure that it fits properly.
Oh yeah. Now with of course, there's one thing to print, and there's tons of colors to print in, etc. But you normally finish yours. Was that another skill that you had to develop, or another skill that you already had going into things when you started?
Yeah,
cosplaying?
it was a little bit around like it's a little bit co-developed because as a cosplayer I use many different materials. It's not just 3D printed. And for example, let me see if I have some stuff here. Oop. So I have a lot of different materials that I use, not fabric, of course, and foam rubber. Like this is not 3D printed. This is EVA foam,
Okay.
which is like flexible and lightweight because it was a very geometric shape and very large. So I didn't want to 3D print this because it would be
heavy, yeah.
fairly
And is
unnecessary
that
and
the
fairly
EVA
heavy.
foam is what you carve, right? Is that usually like carving or using?
Yeah,
can you use
yeah,
hot
that's the
wire?
stuff that you have to hand cut and carve, and
Okay.
so it takes a little bit of more time, but it's really lightweight and flexible for like big stuff. And so like the carving, the sanding, and the painting is very similar to 3D print, and sometimes a little different. And based on like those differences between 3D print and carving, I just figure out like, hey, which material do
Which
I
one's
like
the
best for
best?
this project? You know?
Yeah, if you've been cosplaying long
Exactly.
enough, then you learn to 3D model, you learn to paint, you learn to sculpt. You just
Yeah,
you
yeah. I
learn
mean,
like
I
10
use the
10 different
same 3D
skills.
models for 3D printing. I use the same 3D models to make my patterns for
Oh,
the foam rubber builds as well. So
that's
it's
awesome.
kind of the same stuff.
And now with, of course, not just 3D printing moving ahead, but technology and LEDs getting smaller, getting cheaper, and things like that. Have you found
Yep.
yourself, integrating that more and more? Obviously, I know had the wings at the Elegoo booth at Open Source, and that,
Yep.
of course, was a lot of LEDs.
Yeah. So I think I have them here. Yeah, I have a massive collection of LEDs that I use. Let's see if I have some. And like hardware and stuff that I integrate in my costumes. Like this is a gas spring that you use in like a car,
Okay, yeah, like
a
yep.
car trunk. They extend automatically and they keep a consistent pressure, which is very different from like regular springs. And then I also have like a bunch of LEDs, like the ones that I used in the Elegoo project. They were very small
Yep.
and like they're so small, like it's really tricky to solder them. So like when I first started out, I did like the easy LEDs first. Like these are the big
The
ones.
flat ones, yeah.
Yeah, these are like much
A
easier
little bit
to
larger
do.
contact points on the hose.
Yeah, exactly. And then these are like extremely tiny. These are the ones that were in the Elegoo wings.
Yep.
And over time, I just have collected and tried so many things that I know exactly which things will work out and which ones don't. And I think I have some.
Now the wings that Elegoo had, those moved, right? Do they come out? They kind of
Yep. So they have like
articulated?
motors in them and all those things. I kind of learned over time. I think I've built about 8, 9 different pairs of animatronic wings, so I know exactly which motors to build, to buy, and how to integrate them. And the cool thing about 3D printing is that you can add so many different brackets and custom brackets and custom attachment points that won't work otherwise. I think I have the wrong. Oh yeah, I do. So these are like the LED wings, like the LEDs that were in the Elegoo wings, and they're just really thin and tiny, but they were really cool.
Now with all the movement, of course, LEDs and things like that is on top of everything else that you have to learn to or not have to learn, but that you have learned for cosplay. Do you also do coding? So
a little bit, yeah. It depends a little bit on the project. If I need like a special effect, I would use it with Arduino coding, which is like the Arduino little chipsets that
just
people
add another
use.
check mark to the 800 skills you already have.
I want to try get a little bit more into coding and use like actual servo motors and gyro controllers to make like robot arms and all that kind of like cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I mean, the things you do now are amazing, and yeah. So, would you say most of the ones that move things like that are just more of a mechanical thing, or are a lot of them controlled via?
Yeah, they're all mechanical, so it gives a little bit of a brain explodes process to get through like the mechanical stuff. It's very easy to just use a motor that goes in a certain spot and like rotates
one direction,
or
just
extends
add power,
one
take
thing
power off.
thing and have it done like that. It's way more difficult to get like different linkages and different styles to get what you want. So like I was working on this automata.
I've seen that just posted.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what on my desk right now. I want to upscale this into like a large version. So this is a really heavy torque motor, but I put like a small wing on it, but it's designed to
be
have a very large wing attached. It's just really compact. I think I have to. Where's my battery? There's my battery. They're the same batteries as Elegoo emptied. And open source. But yeah, and then oh yeah, it works. So it looks like it's just going up and down, but it also has an extra oscillating rotation on the side,
on Instagram,
which gives it a little bit of an extra dynamic where it like rotates up and down. So it gives a little bit more movement than a standard ornithopter.
Like you said
or
too,
standard.
is that's meant for a lot bigger one. So of course, the bigger it is, the more noticeable that.
Yeah. So there's going to be a larger movement because of the I think it's cantilever effect you call it, and it's going to have like a very large.
Now is that just a general universal wing design you're kind of playing with, or is this for a specific character?
Yes, it's for a character. I think I have the pattern here because I have so much stuff just around my desk all the time. So these are the wings that I'm building.
Okay, yeah, you said big. I mean, I knew big was big, but that is gigantic.
They're actually on the smaller side compared to like the wings I normally build. So
now will you do just like a 3D printed skeleton and then use like a fabric, or what's the plans for the wings?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like PVC pipe, so I can like curve it, and PVC has a little bit more impact resistance, and then like I can 3D print all the attachment points and the joints that I need for that. And because there's also like if you move it here, there's also an extra mechanism here
Movement
that
point there too.
flips it inwards, so like it's folded.
Oh, it's folded.
And then if you pull
flares.
it will automatically extend with like the elastic here.
That is going to be awesome.
So
Do you have
yeah,
an estimated time
it's
of,
cool
what-
when it works on a small scale,
Yeah.
but there's always like extra challenges when you
I'm
execute it
sure.
on like a large scale. So that might be difficult to do, but we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna try some different materials and see what holds up the best, and make sure that the movement comes out the right way. Hopefully.
Yeah. Now, of course, every project that you do, varies, and I'm sure difficulty and time it takes. For just the wings alone that you're planning for this one, do you have like an ETA of what you think it's going to take to? I mean, of course.
Well,
you
I was
really
gonna
know till you
make
get 'em, but
I was gonna make this for Dragon Con, which I still want to finish it for Dragon Con, which is in 1 month, which is
Okay.
first weekend of September. So
pretty quick turnaround for the complexity of it all.
yes, but like the mechanism itself is the difficult part, and actually building it is like the least hard part. The only difference is if you upscale it, you run into problems because of the scale, and like gravity starts weighing things down and changing mechanisms, which is a problem.
Stresses
But we're
the
gonna
ability
find
of the
out if
motor
it's
and
gonna be a
everything else.
problem or if it's gonna be okay. So I'm just trying to make it as lightweight as possible and see if it works out.
So now, what is the typical turnaround of a project that you do? Let's say a full cosplay, whether it's 3D printed, EVA foam, etc. Do you have kind of an average?
It changes a lot. Usually it's between a week to 2 months.
Okay.
So, but also I do a lot of things at the same time. So that's like the
kinda
difference.
Kicking out a couple projects at once, typically.
Yeah, it also depends on like how much paid work I have available, because like this is for like a personal project, and then if I have any active paid work that I need to complete in that month or next month, then that also affects.
Just kind of mix it in that way. You can.
Yeah, I always have like 5 or 6 projects going at the same time, so because otherwise
So then when you're doing
I get
these
distracted.
projects for other companies or other people,
Yeah,
especially when you have a lot more time
it
in
varies.
Oh, well, I was
So
gonna say, once you do the projects, is especially for the ones that you spend a lot of time on, is it heartbreaking when you have to give it away?
No, not really, because it takes too much space. I like making it. I
Okay,
don't.
yeah.
After it's done, it's
I don't
not
wanna store
really.
it.
It's out. I don't really care about it. Like the making part is the fun part.
Kind of seeing
So
the finished product, and then
I make
okay,
it,
there
I
it is,
use it, or I
go.
wear it once, and I show it off once, and then I'm happy, and then I move on to the next making part. That's no problem for me. Sometimes a couple projects I regret selling off or something like that, and then I'm
You can
like,
always
well,
just make it
damn,
again,
I wish I
right?
could sell that, but it's quite rare.
So now, what do you do with the self projects? So when you do finish them, do you just sell them, or
Yeah. So I wear them once or twice, and then I usually sell them off as well, unless it's something that's easy to wear. Because I also do like guest appearances at Comic Cons and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I keep a couple outfits for myself that are easy to transport or that are a good success or easy to wear or something like that. I
Ones
keep
that
those
don't
for
take 5
myself.
suitcases and
Exactly.
everything
So
else.
stuff that doesn't fall apart immediately or something like that.
So now, out of all the ones that you've done, is there a certain like genre or type of cosplay that you enjoy more than others?
Kind of the ones that have like the cool stuff, like the wings and all the moving parts and LEDs and the special effects. Those are really the coolest ones.
And those typically are the most
Yeah, they
eye-catching for people
get
walking
the
up to you like, hey,
most
what is that?
attention. People love it, and that they're a little different and a little bit more elaborate than what they normally see, and it just gives a lot of attention at the events and stuff. So I always enjoy doing those.
So now, what would you estimate, of course, because you've been cosplaying for a while, obviously you go to events, I'm sure as often as you can. How many selfies do you think, or not selfies, but photos have you taken with other people?
Oh,
would you
so
imagine?
many. Yeah, it's always funny because like you can kind of tell like the costumes popularity based on how many pictures I have of it.
Yeah.
And for example, if you have like a really fancy costume, you get so many pictures back, and it's always fun to see how many you get and how many tags you get. And see.
Now, doing it that long, have you got to the point that you can read people? Because I know some people, especially approaching somebody that they don't know to ask for a photo, a lot of people are uncomfortable. They want to, but they don't want to. Have you
Yeah,
been able to
yeah.
like see that and be like, hey, yo, hey, come here. I know you want
It's
a
pretty
picture.
obvious because the thing is, if you're in a costume, people don't really see you as a visitor. They see you as a feature, something that
You're a
you can.
character here, yeah.
Yeah, you're a feature of what's going around. So they're less inclined to like treat you as a stranger. Like they don't see you as a stranger at all. They just see you as somebody that like is there for like the event, and you're a feature, and that like
Kind
they
of like
they
Disney
can
and like
have.
Mickey. You know, Mickey is a
Yeah,
million
yeah,
different
kind of
people in
like
a
that.
costume.
They
You have no idea
people
who it
people
is,
will
but
people will very easily walk up to you and ask you whatever they want, and be like, "Oh, this is such a cool character, and I love it that you did this costume, and can I get a picture and stuff like that." So people are a lot less shy to connect with you if you're wearing a character.
now, when you've done a specific character, do you have any memorable moments where somebody's approached you and just like either broke down or just lost it, in front of you?
Not that much. Not that I can remember. But sometimes, like usually, it's reserved for like the costumes that have a little bit of a meme outfit, or like something that's a little bit
Fun.
more less canon related. That if you're just like, I tend to do like the costumes that are more accurate and more like the actual character than the meme
Realistic.
stuff and like the fun stuff that get like crazy TikToks and other videos made. But it's not something that I remember distinctly to have a moment like that. No.
Now, do you have out of all the cosplays you have done, do you have a favorite that you loved, whether you loved making it as your favorite or just wearing it as your favorite?
Um. Not
Hard one, you've
really.
done enough.
Like I said, I wear a costume once or twice and then I sell it off because there's wearing a costume is always uncomfortable. So you either have to pick between like something that's easy to wear, something that's really awesome, or something that is properly constructed. And it's never a combination of all three.
Yeah, you
And
gotta kind of balance it somewhere.
yeah, so something that's easy to wear and well constructed is not as visually impressive, and I really liked getting the reaction from people to make sure that like, oh, I enjoy this costume because it gets a lot of reactions from people, but
Yep.
it usually means that costume is also very uncomfortable and not at all like easy and
It's kind
comfortable
of a
to wear.
sacrifice. Like
So
it's fun for the moment, but after that,
yeah,
it's like, okay.
yeah. So it's hard to pick a favorite based of that because it's always one or the other, and it's never a perfect combination of the two of them. And
Yep.
once I find like a costume that's like the perfect combination of the two of them, then maybe it would be my favorite costume.
Fair. Now, when you're doing all the costumes, is there a specific type of filament that you go with? Like PLA is the go-to, ABS because of heat. Is there any
Yeah,
specific?
usually PLA just because it's easy to print and fast to print. And usually I print like big stuff as well. So if I print something with PETG or ABS, and I tried ASA as well, you get more print failures. It just doesn't matter. Like
Especially
it's
big,
you
yeah.
just
The
have
warping can happen more
yeah, the
often.
warping and the print failures are just really inconvenient. So I sacrificed a little bit of like temperature and sanding difficulties that I have for PLA for a better success rate for the prints as well.
There you go. And have you had a chance to use the HT PLA yet?
AC?
From us, or the HT, the high temp PLA?
Yeah, I just got some rolls. So like you guys restocked it like I think a
Finally.
few days ago,
There's more
and I
coming,
finally got
yeah.
my hands on a black and a white roll. So I can't wait to try that because I've had some PLA props. Like I would be on the way to a convention, a really long
they
ride to a convention, and like I live in Florida, so
deform.
like the sun that's beaming down through my rear windshield
It's
onto
just
like
baking it.
the back seats is just baking my props, and like I've had props warp a little bit, so I'm excited to try
Oh.
that out. And
Oh,
I also
yeah.
heard from some friends that the HD PLA is easier to sand as well because it's higher temperature
Yes,
resistant.
nothing that
So
we
I'm excited to
advertise,
try that
but
out.
a lot of people found out
I
on the
know,
first
but
ones,
it's
like, hey, this sand's good. Like, oh no, yeah, it does.
yeah,
We
that is
noticed it.
actually like one of the first things that I theorized when I saw the HD PLA. I'm like, this probably sounds a lot better than regular PLA because of the temperature resistance. Like, I don't think they realize this, but that is definitely something that correlates between like temperature resistance and sanding. So
Yep.
I'm excited to compare that and see how it works. But usually I use the 5 kilogram rolls that you guys sell. I
Okay, the
think
big
I
stuff. Oh
used
yeah,
the
because you
regular
said you
PLA.
print big stuff. So now with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big rolls, what printer do you normally use? Do you have a kind of go-to printer? Do you have a whole farm of them?
I have a couple like I've used like 25 different models over the last 20 years. Some of them are sponsored, like the companies give them to me so they can get their machine featured on my social media.
Yep.
And some of them are less. Let me see if I can boot up my camera and
Oh,
show
your
my
shop cam.
yeah,
Have
my
you remember
shop
what your
cam.
very first printer was?
I do. ANET A8.
A8. Oh, the A8.
The Housefire 3D
Yeah.
printer.
And do you still have it or no?
I do. I don't. No.
Okay.
I got rid of it a long time ago. I cycled through machines pretty quickly because as you know, 3D printers they develop so fast. Like if you
Absolutely.
don't
Yep.
get rid of them within 3 years, they're gonna be worthless. So if you want to get some value back for your machine, you better sell them off pretty
Yep.
quickly.
Yeah. Or else it's worth about $50. So.
Exactly. So that's what I do. I had a Flash Forge. I have a Sofel. I'm getting the new Sofel Max, so I'm excited
Oh
to try that
yes,
out.
that's 500 cubed, I think, right?
Yes, and I actually wanted to build my own Forerun to get like a bigger size one. And then then the Sofel Max came out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna try a
Get one
different
that's
one.
ready to
Let's
go
see if
out the
I can get
box.
a different.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
let's
Yep.
go. We're gonna get on the move.
We're high
So,
tech here.
yeah, exactly. Let's go. So this is my garage. I have a workshop in the back, but
Oh.
these are like my just like.
Oh, I think your mic's cutting out from probably the range. We can see you though. We can see everything. That Polymaker HTPLA. Yeah, there you go. I've seen a few spools of that.
You guys can hear me in the garage, or is the Bluetooth?
No, it cut out in the garage. Yeah, so it started cutting out and cut off completely.
But
we
you can
still
see me
everything.
in the garage, right?
Yep, yeah, everything
okay,
clear.
it's just the headset. It's not gonna work out.
I'll just do the commentary. And here you see an Elegoo resin printer and what seems to be a P1S. Spool racks above. A Prusa XL 5 tool head, it looks to be. A Sovel SVO8. And look at that tall Delta. Holy crap. The XL's big, but that Delta is ridiculous.
I got rid of a couple machines. I had a little bit too many. Oh no!
Oh, fast forward. There we go.
It's not working.
Oh no, we've seen everything, and then it fast forwarded you to here, so we're good.
Oh,
We've seen.
well.
So what was the Delta? What is that super tall
it's
Delta?
it's a really big 3D Delta that I built in 2019. I'm going to switch my camera back. There we go.
There we go. Yep.
So it's an Anycubic Predator that I bought in 2019, and I basically swapped out the pillars to make it like big.
Super tall.
Big.
So what's the max Z on that?
950.
Oh jeez.
So, yeah, exactly. So that I used to like 3D print because I wanted to make like a really big LED prop. So the problem is you always have to glue parts together, which doesn't work when you want to make LEDs.
Yep.
And
No, that's I think that's the tallest Delta that I've ever seen.
there we go. So I also 3D printed my mannequin on that machine because Like I can fit a full leg in there, I can fit a full torso
yeah.
in there as well, and then I also can print like the full scale ones.
That looks like somebody in chat even said it's for swords now, and here is a
Yeah,
sword.
it's for swords. Yeah, exactly. So this is like a full hollow sword. It has a little bit of warping, but it's pretty
But
good.
still, so how old is that printer? So that's a
2019, so it's
all right, so it's
6
a
years old.
slower printer then.
Slow-ish. I did
slow-ish.
like back then. I still had stock firmware on it, and I would just adjust the Z offset to like minus 600 or something, and it would work. And now it has Clipper and some other upgrades and direct extruder and all that kind of good stuff that I kind of hijacked from the FL Sun Deltas. And yeah, that worked out really well. So it's pretty fast right now, and it has a really big nozzle on it. So like these swords are hollow, so it's really thin. You can see my hand through it.
Yep.
So they print really fast. They print in like 6 hours. Yeah, they print in only like 6 hours. And but yeah, that's the problem. If you print in PLA, this stuff is gonna warp very quickly.
Oh.
So I usually print them in PETG, but in PETG I have another problem. If you print PETG in a single wall, I found out that it warps very, very quickly. Like it starts getting all wavy.
It cools and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like I've not found like a filament that's gonna work for that. That also has the temperature resistance. And then you guys came out with the temperature resistance PLA, but it's not transparent. So
Yeah.
so I got
so
like
the HTPL
struggle
does
continues.
have a little bit of opacity to it, but not transparent.
I know, but like this is a 1mm nozzle, so I have to do some testing with the white stuff to see how translucent it is. So that's something I want to test.
Interesting to see for sure.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna try that out. I don't think I have any, but yeah, there's like channels in there for an LED strips that I can stick in there and make like a really nice effect. So that's what I use the Delta for.
That's what I need a Delta for now. Is just long swords. I've done a few.
Yeah. In 2019, I built it. Yeah, and then like 2019, I think a year or two later, the belt printers were all hot and in the market. So I bought one of those, but they're tricky to work with in Delta, the belt printers. So I had one of those Creality belt printers, and I ended up selling it because it wasn't really what I needed.
Yeah, I've heard ups and downs with the belt printers.
Yeah, they're
the Delta
tricky.
At least is a solid build platform. Plus, you're not getting the whole thing moving.
It's always a little bit of. There's always quite a bit of wobble in those because the belt is not perfectly level.
Perfectly flat. So
we're
getting you in here for the community. If anybody's got any questions for Willow, start asking in chat. I will watch for that, and then we'll get some community questions taken care of here in a little bit. But yeah, so is there any new upcoming project? Obviously, well, I guess the wings are probably the next big project.
Yeah, the wings are the big project, and then I'm also working on some 3D printed foam armor that I've been posting about a lot as well with foam armor.
Is that the Variashore?
This is the Soraya Tech foam.
So it's the
same stuff. It's basically the same material. The Soraya Tech feels a little bit more rough, but it prints faster, so I can print faster with it, which is nice.
And that's
the active foaming
print
TPU.
Pretty, what would you compare it to and types of material when you print? Like a
yeah, it's like
style,
EVA foam.
As I say, like when you're printing, is it like, does it print easily or is it kind of tricky to print with?
Yeah, no, it basically starts extruding by itself once it starts heating.
Okay.
So it literally like it starts extruding, like it leaks out of the nozzle like crazy. So that is something that is a problem when you're using a tool changer or when you're having any kind of travel in your 3D prints. So no retraction because it's just gonna clog up and like it starts leaking like crazy. So you just want to make like a solid piece as much as possible.
So
those are limitations that you have.
Is that printed flat or is it printed like upright? Like how is that printed?
So this is actually printed upright in a cylinder shape, and all these are cut out afterwards actually. So everything's cut in like a cylinder shape.
So
like this is one big cutout. So it was one solid cylinder 3D print basically. And then I printed with zero infill. And then like that's how you get like the inside is literally just the inside of a 3D print without infill.
So that can give you a little bit more detailed armor, but be a little more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. It's super comfortable and it's like foam rubber, so it paints a little bit easier than the classic TPUs. And
Sounds like maybe we
because the
need to come
classic
out with some.
TPUs are tricky. Yeah, that'd be nice. I've used high flow TPU before, the high speed TPU from Polymaker, which is really nice and fast, but it still has that classic TPU shine.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And
Super
yeah,
shiny.
this gives a really matte finish, which also takes paint very well. So that's why I like this stuff.
And
So,
that's
yeah, it's very
crazy stuff. I've
matte.
never printed with that kind of material before, so that's actually pretty neat.
It feels like rubber bike handles, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's
It'd be
kind of
good
like
for
that,
handle grips
that kind
then.
of stuff. Yeah, yeah. It gets advertised for handle grips a lot, so like custom insoles and handle grips and all that kind of good stuff. But I use it for cosplay, and that's kind of how it exploded for color fab. And they gave me very Shore very early on. They were one of the first ones to introduce this kind of TPU. And now there's a couple other manufacturers that started coming out with this TPU as well, which
Okay,
is the
yeah, more people.
Soraya Esun, and I think there was one more that
Just not Polymaker yet.
no, no. But the active
Eventually.
foaming makes it very tricky. It's quite like for advanced users because you need to really fine tune your, and you need to have very specific 3D designs, or it's just gonna be a mess, and it's just gonna mess up your printers and mess up your 3D prints. It's very hard to get a
Oh.
clean print with it.
There we go. Let's see here. I think my chat is lagging quite a bit behind. Yeah, let's see here.
And yeah, I was really excited about the tool changer that I got, the Prusa
yes.
XL. And I wanted to use that with the active foaming TPU, but it doesn't work at all with the active foaming TPU because the problem is the nozzles will continue
They want to
leaking
keep
material.
pushing through. Okay.
Yeah, so as soon as the nozzle moves away from the print, it starts leaking material all over the place. So the nozzle needs to be on the printer. Like the nozzle needs to be on the 3D print at all times.
Yeah, or else they said do. So you could print if you're just doing just the very short style or the Sierra.
Yeah, that's why I do the
not
solid
multi.
3D prints right now with the Very Shore, and then I cut out all the Very Shore support parts later, basically, just because it keeps the nozzle on the print at all the time.
Oh, I just lost my keyboard again. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, I wanted to click on here. Make sure.
Is your keyboard watered?
Yeah. Probably shorted out, shut down the whole stream. No, we're definitely still live. Just my chat in the app is not refreshing well. But does anyone have any questions for Willow before I finish things up and let her go? I'm gonna pull up both chats because I think it's gonna be multi-streaming.
Let me see. I do have the Elagu Centauri Carbon. Yes, somebody asked about that. I do have the Centauri Carbon as well. It's quite a neat little machine. Very, very good value. It's just a little loud, so I wouldn't recommend keeping it in your living room, but in the garage, it's really nice little printer. And let's see what else we got. Lightning McQueen. Yeah, I did cosplay Lightning McQueen, which is always it's not 3D printed at all. It's literally a race suit and a wig, and it gets some of the best reactions from people. So it's one of those comfortable costumes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of the meme costumes, the fun costumes, you know. It's I didn't craft anything for it, well, a little bit. So it doesn't fall in that category of, oh, this was really cool to make, but it does fall in the category of, oh, I get really cool reactions from it.
That's it.
It's one of my favorite costumes to wear, yeah.
CCM1092 had asked, what's a tool that you have a love-hate relationship with?
Probably these, like, multi-tool Dremels. I have two, you know, because they always run out of battery. That's why I have two. So one can charge while the other one is functional. So this is probably the one.
The downside of not having the replaceable battery, right?
This is why you get two of the same tool when they have a battery. Yeah, it doesn't have like one of those replaceable batteries. I know there's a couple Dremels where you can take out the battery and charge it and get two sets of batteries, but they're a little bit too big and like these are just the right size.
Easy peasy. Now let's see. Maker Viking asks, wonder when Willow is joining Tinker Atlas. A new Maker,
I don't know what Tinker Atlas is.
It's a new Maker social. Kind of away from all the
I already have so many social media. I have to, I like, because a large part of my income is based on well, not really monetization, but based on getting content
Exposure
creator projects. So basically, I make something to post online for a brand.
Yep.
So that can be a 3D printer brand, it can be a video game that pays me to make something and put it online. So
Yep.
I already have like 6-7 different social media platforms that I need to monitor, and I'm by
That's another
myself.
2,
so
3, or 4, right? Oh yeah,
oh,
especially
absolutely
you're managing
not.
yourself, so that's
Yeah,
you there, so.
it's a pain, but I don't really want to hire anyone for it. I just make stuff and I put it online when I feel like it.
There
I'm
you
pretty
go.
casual about that. So like
Easier to manage that way.
I don't
between the
really want to
staff.
add any extra managements to myself.
There you go. That's a Tony Wright asks, any particular printer, scanner, or tech that you're really looking forward to in the next year?
So yeah, so I got the Sofal Max on pre-order
Yep.
that should be delivered next week, next month. That I am looking forward to. It would be
Yep.
cool to put an index system on it,
Yes.
the Bontech index tool changer system. But I also already have a Prusa XL, and I don't use multi
You don't use
material
the
all that
5 all the
often.
time. Okay.
No, because I paint and I send my prints, so the color changing doesn't do anything for me. It's just mostly for support and
Yeah, I think that's even for like
living
myself.
hinges changing.
I'd love to get a 500 cube because I like printing stuff big.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'd
the
love to add an
500
index
cubes
to
could
it
be
too.
cool.
But if I added 10 tool heads, I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 prints with 10 colors, and then it's just going to be I'm using.
No,
2, 3,
yeah,
or 4
it's
tool
a little
heads.
bit of the extra tool heads is a little bit of a 1.5. It's mostly the size that I'm looking forward
Yep.
to, just because I use like big stuff for
Just
the 3D
bragging rights at that
printers and
point.
stuff.
Like, oh, I got 15
Yeah,
tool
and
heads.
my Predator, my big Delta is a little outdated, so it will be nice to have a bigger volume again that is a little bit more up to date.
Little solid.
So
that
yeah,
has the
that's
faster
definitely one
stuff.
I'm looking forward to. And what else? I'm not too. Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for in terms of like tech that I'm looking for. I
Awesome.
would like to. I'm trying to get Creality to give me one of their scanners, and
Yes.
they won't give me one. They're a little
Really?
bit too pricey.
Yeah,
They're a little
they're
bit too
expensive.
pricey
They
to
just
buy.
released another one. I think they released like 6 in the last 6 months. The Raptor X, the Raptor
Yeah,
Pro, the
yeah, one of
Sermo,
those Raptors, for
it was-
example. But the problem is I can't release content when I want to. So when people give me machines or materials, I can't give them a guarantee or a certain time
Oh yeah,
slot or
exact dates or whatnot.
verification process. And it's like they want to get a positive video out within 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't work like that. So
Yeah,
I just
you
put
can
out
send it to me. I'll use it. I'll be happy to
exactly
showcase if it
like,
works. And yeah,
exactly. So like the brands that give me machines and materials, they get content all the time.
Yeah.
It's just not approved or like
Yeah.
certain
Oh, yeah. And
schedule
that's how
or
we do our
something like that.
sponsorships. Is it's not we don't look to control content. We don't need to approve it. If you're
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
out
So
there
it's a
kicking
little
puppies,
tricky
then we don't
to
care.
get me to get one of those cool scanners, and but other than that, it works pretty well.
There we go. Okay, so now I'd like to end everything with so just a few rapid fire questions. Some are easy, some are a little bit harder to think of answers for. But first 2 are the same, or same every episode. What is your favorite filament color or surface effect?
Black.
Black.
Because I paint
There's
everything.
a lot of that available everywhere. Yeah,
If I
finish it.
Yeah, so
Do
like
you find black to be better than a gray base?
well, no, because gray is easier.
Okay.
But gray also means that the inside of a costume is gray. So that means you have to paint the inside of a
So
costume.
then
If it's
if you
black
see
on the
edges-
inside, I don't have to paint the inside.
Fair. Okay, no, that
So
makes
that's
sense.
literally why I use black.
No, that is actually a very simple fix to that. Yeah,
Don't
I
have
never
to
thought of
paint
that.
the
It's just
inside.
because even one little piece is shown on the edge, and it's still gonna
Yeah,
gonna pop out from a dark costume. So okay,
Yeah.
second up with printing, and you've printed many of things. What is the one print that you're most proud of?
The one print that I'm most proud of, probably the transparent things, like
Okay.
this one. I think I back in 2019, I literally built the Delta for one specific 3D print that I needed to make in 2019, and it was my Warglaves from World of Warcraft.
Okay, yep.
And I'm not sure if I Can I share screen or
Yeah, but
something?
it's the same screen. I should still.
Yeah,
see.
I'm just it's based on Windows, so I have to find something else.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can bring up my my YouTube. There we go.
Let's see here. Let's go.
Let's see.
show
It's
my- There we go.
2019, so I'm gonna have to scroll back a little bit.
You've done a few posts since 2019.
Yeah, I have
right?
made a couple. So there's these 3D
Jeez.
prints.
That's the ones in your profile pic, right?
Yeah, so they're all one-piece 3D printed
Jeez.
to get that light effect in. And like, especially with
That's
like
so awesome.
the size of these, and you have to glue multiple parts together, you interrupt that light effect. So that's why I built a 3D printer for, and I still print them every once in a while. And
Thankfully, you have
I still have
more
to,
use
like,
for it since then, right?
yeah, absolutely. Like these are like one-piece 3D prints as well.
So huge.
So
are
those are one
typically very
piece.
heavy at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Or looks like a battle rifle or something, maybe for. Well, I guess there's probably a lot of games that have a rifle like that. But
Yeah, just one-piece rifle prints. It's pretty cool. I think, yeah. Yeah, this is one of these full-piece prints.
that's a cool thing, especially with something that's so tall. The time lapse on that is awesome.
I can't hear you because the video is too loud.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's what I built this 3D printer for, and I made those really big green blades for these specifically.
Now that
for
makes
this
me want to
machine.
have a really tall Delta. So
It's absolutely epic. I want to update it. It's gotten a little outdated over the years, so I want to get a little bit of an update on it going, so it's a bit better quality.
but it works
This is
well.
one of
Yeah,
my
so.
first videos on YouTube.
Okay, so then real quick, a couple last rapid fire questions. Out of all the games and everything that you've done props for and everything else, if you play video games, what is your go-to video game?
Right now I'm playing a lot of Warframe. I used to play a lot of World of
Warframe, okay, yeah.
Warcraft, of course. A long time World of Warcraft and Warframe 3D player. And I used to play a lot of League of Legends. But now it's mostly Warframe, I think.
Fair
A little bit
enough.
of Diablo, other Blizzard
I
games.
can't go wrong with Diablo. Diablo
Yeah,
has always
yeah.
had a special place in my heart. So.
I used to play a lot of Diablo, and I played the new Diablo 4 game, but I'm not really into the Diablo 4 end game, so I finished the campaign and the story quests and most of the
I was like,
content, and then
on to
I
the
was
next.
like, okay, I'm gonna move on now.
There you go. Well, let's see. And then the last rapid fire question I have, and this might be the hardest to answer, or the easiest, is if somebody's looking for someone that does a lot of cosplay, has been doing it for 15 or so years, does tons of different forums, where could they go to find said person?
Yeah, I am Willow Creative on all social media and websites as well, and you'll be able to find me with the green profile picture that I
As you see
have.
up on the screen, yep.
Yeah. So like, it's coincidentally also the green weapons that I built. So I have a couple really cool pictures of that cosplay as well. So
and then-
yeah, you can find me on Willow Creative on YouTube, as you can see here. You can find me there.
Yep.
And then let me see if I can just get like a full screen. There we go. So I got Willow Creative on YouTube and Twitter as well. It's at Willow Creative without the E, because most people steal my username.
Somebody took it, yeah.
Yeah, my website is also willowcreative.com without the E. So you'll be able to find me there as well. I do have a Twitch. I don't stream, so that's something I want to change by setting up my backyard workshop. And
Awesome.
I can get a streaming setup going in my backyard workshop and not be in the living room. And
That'll be very
I
fun
want
to
to do some
watch.
streaming as well.
So now, do you have the account tied down already on Twitch? So
I
still
do,
showing
I
Willow
do. I
Creative?
actually have the
Yeah.
actual Willow Creative with the E and everything.
With the even,
so.
there you go.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
everything. If somebody just wanted to go to one site, they could go to willowcreative.com minus
Yeah,
the E.
yeah.
So you see
exactly.
it right here on the
minus
screen.
the E, so you can see it's minus
It's
the
not a-
E.
Yep, it's not a typo on the screen. That is correctly how you put it in there.
Yeah. I'm mostly on I would say I'm most active on Twitter. So
Oh.
Yeah,
There you go.
and
But no,
Instagram.
I
so
appreciate
you can see all
so
my
much
stuff
for.
here. I
Oh,
try
yeah,
to
let
do
me-
a little bit more on YouTube, but I'm not a big YouTube person. I edit all my own stuff, so
Yes, and that's the other thing too. It's a one-man army, and you're doing some amazing
exactly. I
things
just put
and
out a
having
couple
content
videos
on
that I
top of it.
like. Exactly.
That's definitely awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your projects, what you're doing next, what you're working on. Definitely look forward to seeing some really awesome things coming from you, on top of the awesome things you've already created. So
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
again
I
for coming on the
always
show
I am
and,
always building something every day. So usually, if you're on
and
Twitter,
sharing it, thankfully, so we get to see it.
yeah, I would say on Twitter I usually share the most stuff of what I'm doing on a certain day. So
There you go. Well, I thank you very much again for coming on the show. I will let you go for the night and hopefully
Thank
catch
you
you
very
at maybe
much.
one of the upcoming events.
yeah, maybe I might be at New York Comic Con and I'll be at Tampa Bay Comic Con this weekend, and
There you go.
most of the Comic Cons.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
great
good night.
evening.
Yeah. And there you have it. Another great maker that does amazing things. And learning through this, of course, doing the show is, wow, there's a lot of skill involved. And not that, not that what she did, I ever looked at, it's like, oh, that's easy, I could do that. But no, the fact that you have 3D printing, you have sculpting, basically, you have painting, you have 3D modeling, you have programming. What? Come on. Again, never thought of anything that she does as easy. It is all amazing, but just to see how many skill sets go into making such things as the wings or any of the other cosplays, props, weapons, etc. Amazing stuff. So hats off to her on what she does and continue to do awesome things. Make sure to follow her, Willow Creative, as she's at on the socials, willowcreative.com without the E on the end. You saw it on the screen. Wasn't a typo. But real quick, I'll remind everybody, I am awesome. YouTube, you're in there. Your entries are counting this time for the first time in a long time. I definitely was not up until 4 a.m. this morning, optimizing things and fixing things and realizing I can get things to work now. So I'm really happy with that. I hope you guys are just as happy that you don't have to come over to Twitch to type that in. So get that in there real quick. I am awesome. We'll do a drawing here in a minute. But before we do that, we got to mention some things like Polymaker figurines, led by Antoine Dimensions, and he is doing a video every few days of a new Pokemon, almost finishing up version 2. I always say version. Generation 2, I think is what they consider it. But first 151 have been done. They're available for download for free on Maker World. And all the ones that he does now, as he does the videos, those become available to also download and print yourself for free. No charge. They're solid color and this multicolor, whichever way you want to go. He lists in the videos of every color he uses, which is always out of the Panchroma and the Polylight series. So go check him out. And I didn't say it, but exclamation point PMF, Polymaker Figurines. That'll get you a link there to show all the socials to where you can find him and watch his awesome stuff. Next up, realize this. Thank you. Try again. I see exclamation point P.F. PMF. But we also have Polymaker Education that's led by Creative Brit, doing the same thing where when a video comes available, the model shown in that video for education purposes or any other use you want to is available for free to download in Maker World and printables under Polymaker Education. And that is, there we go, got that one in there. Also, we have Polymaker Sean running Polymaker Labs, exclamation point PML in chat. And he does TikTok videos, shorts of tips, tricks, and troubleshooting, showing off cool things. Recently, he just did he's been working on a basketball of TPU and Polymax PLA. He's determined to get the most perfect basketball that can withstand being slammed down on the ground. So he's making some progress, finding some issues, working it through. He's sharing that through that too, just of kind of how to do multicolor printing. Again, if you got some problems, you might find a fix there, or just watch it so you have the information already for when you do possibly have a problem. Lastly, we have Imprinting Color, and that's hosted by Pezliz. That's !IPC. That's at twitch.tv/Pezliz every Wednesday. She goes about all the colors, the surface effects, the different filaments, showcasing what kind of uses you can use them for, and just letting you know more about the filament. Of course, we recently had the HTPLA, and we have a lot more stuff coming, people. So she's going to have her hands full. We'll be sure we get that stuff to her as it shows up on the shores. Coming soon, TM. But that is all the projects we have. So get your I Am Awesome in there. Twitch and YouTube. Again, I'm going to keep stressing that. Twitch and YouTube. YouTube. You enter now. They're in there. So make sure to get that in there. If you hear my voice, you see my face, you can qualify, or you do qualify to enter and qualify to win. So I will ship it to you no matter where you're at. So if you're in some crazy country that I've never heard of, that's okay. I'll figure out where it's at and I'll send it to the shipping department. It's no longer rigged. It's no longer rigged against YouTube. We have much love for YouTube. Just taking a little bit to figure it out. So, but we definitely thank you guys for always tuning in to our fun streams with the team members and of course the show. That has been episode 73. Did you guys realize there's a thumbnail now? I might tweak it, change things up and whatnot, but this video has a thumbnail. So the VOD's going to have a thumbnail. It's not just going to be a random screen cap of me going. So that'll be nice. Getting a little more clean look, getting there. But we have streams every day of the week except Friday for now. We have Greg that does the stream on Monday, Content Corner, talking about what he's doing with content because he is our content creator. And kind of what he's doing can be, again, behind the scenes, what he's doing. We have Tiffany that does Wednesdays, Tiffany's Amateur Maker Hour, and that is just her journey learning 3D printing and going through things, learning stuff from you and vice versa. Maybe you learn something from her or you get some fun laughs. It's always a good energy. Tuesday, of course, we always have our community. Haven't really got a good name yet, Community Corner, but then we already have Greg's Content Corner. I think I called it Community. I don't even know what I called it this week. I keep changing it. I'll get around to naming it. But on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, we go live and I actually talk to you guys. I read the chat, and we have fun. Sometimes we plan some stuff and brainstorm. Sometimes I just go off into La La Land talking to myself. So you never know what to expect. I have some ideas for some fun ones in the future we'll talk about next Tuesday. But then we have Sean's Feedback Hour at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard on Thursdays, which you probably tuned into that. You can give your live feedback to the guy that can make the changes to fix things if they're broken on the customer experience side of things. So definitely go check him out on Thursdays. And of course, we're back here every single Thursday. We don't miss a show. 73 episodes in consecutive. We're going to be here. So tune in next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard at the same place. You see my face and you'll find out who we're talking to next. But last call, last 10-second call to type I Am Awesome in chat to get your entrance in there. And if you miss out, that's on you. Do this stream late at night until midnight and then cover Thursday and Friday. Yep, there we go. You know I can talk that long. A lot of you know that I can talk that long. Okay, but we're getting ready to draw here. So I see another one in there, in 5, in 4, and how do people do 3? Some people do 3 like that, and then 3. I've always done it weird, a little uncomfortable. 3, 2, 1, drawing. And if your name is on the screen, type in ! Contact. That's my email address. You can email me and say, hey, I'm so-and-so on Twitch or YouTube. I won Frostbite 3D. Congratulations on Twitch. I promised YouTube you were in there. That's how the cards fell. But going forward, if this is a live stream, which it is today, it is on Tuesday again, and it'll be on next Thursday. Live streams, you're going to be able to enter on both sides. So YouTube, you do have a chance to win. Always get those in. But until next week, I need to find somebody to raid out to. Who should we raid out to? Let's find a... I keep forgetting. My keyboard's not in front of me. I spilled my mug of water on my keyboard early into the show, so I had it sitting down. And it works still, so we're good, okay? We don't judge. It's a judge-free zone. Just because I'm clumsy and I'm a pro streamer doesn't mean anything. I use pro very lightly. Let's see here. You know what? We haven't. What is this guy doing? What? Oh, hold on. You know what? I see somebody we're gonna go to. Let's go to. I haven't figured out raids on YouTube yet. I don't even know if you can do both through this. I'll look into that next. Optimizations are coming. Let's go. We're gonna raid out to fellow community member who is just an all-around awesome guy. That's not at all. Well, that's who it is, but that's not how that's supposed to work. Let's go say hi to Adam, Additive Adam. Hey, he is right now working on a Rook 2020 build in some Polymaker Teal, it seems. Smart choice. That didn't sway me to choose him to raid into, okay? He is really a good guy. So give our love over to Additive Adam. We're going to raid out to him. And I hope to catch you guys here next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Same place, same time, same face, unfortunately for you guys. Have a good night, have a good weekend, and have a good week. See you later.